Welcome, everyone. I am Joe Irish, Senior Wealth Advisor. Joining me today is our Chief Investment Officer, Zarek Armstrong. We're all part of the team here at Sienna. Sienna believes that taxes play a big role in your overall investment planning. Today, we're going to discuss tax loss harvesting and how we work that into our planning process. So with that, Zach, can you explain tax loss harvesting for our viewers and how Sienna uses it?
Yeah, definitely. Tax loss harvesting, as you mentioned, is a unique tool that we utilize in managing your portfolio, and it's really a tactic to help save on taxes over the long term. When the market experiences volatility and ups and downs, and the down periods show up, we can actually sell an asset in a loss position for a taxable account. That actually locks in that loss as a realized loss for your taxes. And then what we do is we immediately turn around and use the proceeds of that sale to buy this exact same asset class, but just a different fund. That way you're still invested, but you can utilize that tax loss to offset and benefit on your taxes.
Okay, so we talk about not timing the market. This kind of sounds like a little bit like timing because we're buying and selling. Is it not timing the market here?
No, not quite, Joe. It's really just reacting to a given market situation, not timing. So we're just reacting when the markets go down. If one position in your portfolio is at a loss and the loss is great enough to justify the tax benefit, then we will act on it.
Okay. So we're big though in not reacting to volatile markets. Like we don't like to time the market. One of the things we say is that when the markets go down, we've made a plan for you, and we don't want to lock in losses. How is this different than locking in a long-term loss?
Well, the key word here is tax in tax loss harvesting, and it's just a beneficial tax strategy of your portfolio. Of course, we want long-term gains in your portfolio and retirement plan, and we know the history of the market, it does go up in the long term, but we've experienced and seen through history that there could be periods where the market's down. And at that point, it does actually make sense to lock in losses to use and offset future gains. Let me show you one quick image in your mind. So here is just an example of one fund. This investor had $100,000 in one position, and within the month, it dropped down to $68,000. What we do is we sell that fund at the loss, locking in the $32,000 losses for their tax return, and then we immediately buy back the same asset class in a different fund, and that's that green line.
Okay, so you're not locking in those losses theoretically because you're buying one fund at a loss, locking in that tax loss harvest, but then putting the money back into the same asset class that's needed in that portfolio. Okay, that makes sense. Thank you. So we also have talked previously about how important rebalancing is back to your risk targets in your plan. Can this tax loss harvesting be in conjunction with that when you rebalance our clients' portfolios?
Absolutely, and oftentimes they go hand in hand. Whenever we take action on a client's portfolio, we're always looking to make sure that it's in balance with the proper risk reward that their investment policy statement outlines.
So anyway, so it sounds great. So you're going to lock in and help out your long-term risk-adjusted tax returns. You're going to lock in some long-term tax loss harvests so you can take benefit on your tax returns currently. So that sounds great, but what are the downsides that clients might see or what we're looking out for?
There are two major downsides and important considerations when you're taking on a tax loss harvesting opportunity trade. And one of them is there's a lot of regulation behind them, obviously, because you're helping your taxes and you can utilize it to offset gains. So one important consideration is the tax wash sale rules. And that's, you can't purchase the exact same fund within 30 days of selling and locking in those losses. Otherwise, you wash that loss and you're not allowed to claim it and really defeated the purpose. So in that regard, they can be a little bit complicated and require the expertise of an advisor. Another consideration is transaction costs. Is the loss large enough to justify the extra transaction costs? Because you're not only selling, you're buying into another fund right away. So there's 2 transaction costs to consider.
So it sounds like there's a lot that goes into tax loss harvesting that's beneficial, not only with rebalancing, but also making sure that you take advantage of the times when the markets go down the best that we can. That sounds great, Zach. Appreciate your time. Thank you, Zach, for explaining how tax loss harvesting works and how Sienna uses it in their investment process. Again, I'm Joe Irish for Zach Armstrong, the whole team at Sienna. Please reach out to us anytime you can, see how we can help you prepare for retirement. Thanks and have a great day.